This is the Gabby Petito case by Truth Tracker and Truth Seeker. I should have put her name at the bottom there because it's part of her information also. And as you saw in part one, we took all of Gabby Petito and Brian Laundrie's social media posts, all of their dirt website content, from reviews of camping locations to places they wanted to visit to witness reports, police body cam, and we made a whole timeline presentation, PowerPoint if you want to call it, showing Gabby Petito and Brian Laundrie when they left Blue Point, New York, all the way up to Wyoming, all the way up to when Gabby's body was discovered, and up to September 1st. Now, in this presentation, part two, I can't read the comments anymore, Kathy, while I'm playing this too. So if anybody wants to come in, or no, we're not bringing people in, but if you see a comment or anything, let me know, Kathy.
Okay,
So,
I'm typing answers in.
gotcha. In this part two, we're going to go from September 1st forward. And Kathy, if you see anything that you found out that I don't have here, please let me know. And this includes 123 slides, guys, from September 1st to Brian Laundrie's remains.
I am just going to mute while you're going through this, and I'll kind of chat with people in the chat typing, but I don't want to interrupt once you get rolling on this, because this is going to be like a process you're going through, and I don't think I should interrupt your slideshow.
Well, if you want to, but I'm not gonna read like I've done in the past. Like I think we got this pretty near. But yeah, I understand, Kathy. Thank you. But I'm not gonna go through every post like I've done before. I think I got this pretty worked out how to keep moving and do it. So we're just gonna keep pushing. And yeah, Kathy, anytime you want to jump in, if somebody has a comment or anything, feel free to though.
See, we've already gone for an hour before you
Right,
were even starting this chit chatting.
right.
So I still think after you put this up, you should put it up again.
Oh
It's just a
well,
separate video with just the slideshow and cut out all of our hour of talking. I mean, leave
well,
that up, but put a second one up too
well. What
without
I
the
was,
live.
but I still have where I'm gonna combine them both though. So do you think I should
Oh,
do the
yeah.
combination?
Yeah,
Yeah,
wait until you do the combo. I forgot you were going to combine them both and
yeah,
post it.
yeah. In the end, this is all gonna be one video, guys, like a documentary before your eyes, and this is gonna be the most in-depth documentary. I don't even know if there's been one this in depth.
Chris does really good documentaries. That was he was born to do that, I'm telling you.
Thank
Putting
you,
this
Kathy.
stuff together, the technical stuff, I could never put the I can dig the facts and the information and cross match everything, but he puts these slideshows and videos together beautifully.
Thank you, Kathy. I really appreciate that. Now I don't know if I'm gonna present it like a documentary. I don't know. I've never really had a foolproof worked out like this though. So I don't know. I have to talk to Kathy on how to bring out the part one and part two together in one video. But it's all gonna be one video in the end, guys. All right. So we're gonna dive straight into it, and we're gonna work our way through it pretty quickly. And it's going to have all the supporting information as we go through slides, and it's going to tell you and inform you of what happened from September 1st up until Brian Laundrie's remains were found. So can you see the case on the screen, Kathy? I meant to ask you that
Gabby
before you
Petito
went.
case part 2.
Okay. All right, here we go, guys. So on September 1st, 2021, as you can see at the top, it says, on September 11th, 2021, the subject's van, a white Ford Transit bearing Florida tag QFTG03, was located at her address at 4343 Wabasso Avenue, Northport, Florida. Per the license plate reader installed at the Sumter Boulevard exit of Interstate 75, this vehicle entered the city of Northport on September 1st, 2021 at approximately 10:26 a.m. Now that information came out later, and it was released in a search warrant issued by the police when they went to Brian Laundrie's parents' house, and they issued a like 7-page search warrant. It's going to be in this document, and in it it contained the tag number of the vehicle, the date that it came back into Northport, Florida, and where it was scan tag. So as I said, per the license plate reader installed at the Sumter Boulevard exit of Interstate 75. Catch my breath. That vehicle entered the city of Northport on September 1st, 2021 at approximately 10:26 a.m. Now, Kathy, I don't know if you had the link, but this is actually a snapshot taken from the interactive map that I've been sharing with everybody. It's a free interactive map that anybody can get. It's a link. You click the link, and you can even open it up on Google Maps. And all these points are marked on the interactive map. And this is a snapshot from that interactive map. And on the interactive map, I marked the exact spot where the police are talking about where the van was scan tagged on September 1st. And this is the spot: Sumter Boulevard and Interstate 75. Speaking with police outside of her home, I always mess this up for some reason. Cassie Laundrie later said, "My parents wanted to surprise the kids and pick them up at school. I did not know Brian was with them when we previously planned to hang out with them." So on September 1st, when Brian Laundrie returned to Florida, at some point he got back with his parents. So Brian Laundrie's parents and Brian Laundrie went to his sister Casey Laundrie's house, who the sister later said that there was a prearrangement with the parents to pick up her kid from school.
It's Cassie. You always say Casey.
Cassie. So she didn't know Brian Laundrie was going to be with the parents, but she found out.
His own into the woods or anything.
We don't know. We've been told. We know as much as you.
Did you? So when he came here September 1st, right? You said he came. What did he come here for?
My parents wanted to surprise the kids to pick them up at school. I did not know that Brian was with them when we had previously planned to hang out with them. This is not what we want to be doing. This is not how we want the world to find out when we're angry and upset. But I can't have my kids be crying for 3 days in a row.
What did the FBI take out of the house here? Like what?
Nothing.
They came here though.
Yes.
During.
We met with them multiple times.
You met with them multiple times.
Yeah.
Did they ask you for like polygraphs or anything like that?
No, but
no.
We don't know.
We're not involved in this at all.
He's my brother, and that's it.
The parents. We've been outside the parents' home for 2 weeks straight.
I know. I've been
There's
watching.
parents' home for 2 weeks straight.
I know. I've been
There's
watching.
there's people out there. They feel your family's involved.
All right, so there you go. So that was Casey Laundrie, and she said that she did not know her brother Brian Laundrie was with the parents on September 1st when they showed up at their house and wanted to surprise the kids and pick them up from school. So right here, what you're seeing on the screen now is, per the license plate reader installed at the Sumter Boulevard exit of Interstate 75, that vehicle entered the city of Northport on September 1st, 2021 at approximately 10:26 a.m. Casey Laundrie confirms Brian Laundrie arrived at her home with their parents to surprise the kids by picking them up from school. So, this is showing you, I believe, drive route from Sumter Boulevard I-75 to Chris and Roberta Laundrie's home. So point A, what you're seeing on the screen right now, is where Brian Laundrie, the van, was scan tagged at. And point B is Brian Laundrie's parents' home. Showing you. Again, this is marked on the interactive map. If it's added in the comments section, anybody can get a copy of this interactive map. I've added these points. So still on September 1st, A, Gabby Petito's van tag scanned at Sumter Boulevard / Interstate 75 at 10:26 a.m. And you can see A down in the bottom. And then B, Chris and Roberta Laundrie's home is B. And then C is Casey Laundrie's home. So you can see, actually, am I saying her name right, Kathy? I forget again. Casey. So
it's Cassie. And I just put another comment in that Casey's drilled in your brain now, because originally you did one typo and it is stuck so many times. So yeah, it's Cassie.
Cassie. I'm sorry, Cassie.
think of Lassie the dog, and
Gotcha.
that'll be your memory thing.
Gotcha, Lassie Cassie. All right, so yeah, you can see how far away kind of Cassie's house is from the parents' home, and it actually goes towards the campground. So that's A. The van was scan tagged on Interstate I-75 and Sumter Boulevard. B. The Laundrie parents' home, and then C. Cassie Laundrie's house. Lassie Cassie. So also on September 1st through the 6th.
Witness.
Okay, so William, what did you
they
see
had gotten a
in
camper,
the driveway? Yeah.
Yeah, well, I was doing some work in the front yard, and I noticed that they got a new camper for the back of the pickup, and I didn't think anything unusual. They got a new camper, so they wanted to put their own touch inside of it. I saw them doing some work, and then when they prepared for their trip, I saw them loading the camper.
Now you're talking about Brian and his parents after he returned home. Is that correct? In a different camper?
Yes, the van is his. His father has a pickup truck which they purchased a in-bed camper,
Like an attachment
and,
camper. So, and then you say
yes.
that they packed up that camper, Brian and his mom and dad, and they went camping. Do you know that for sure?
We saw them. I saw them loading it up, and so I assumed they were preparing for a camping trip with their new camper.
They were going for the weekend.
Yes.
So how long
It
after he got back, alone in that white van? How long after that was this, when you saw them working on this other camper and getting ready to go away together?
Yeah, I can't remember, the dates.
Week and a half.
Yeah, probably week and a half. I agree with that.
So
yes.
did the police ever talk to you about what you saw, the parents and Brian working on this new camper and then leaving for a few days? Did they ask you about that?
I believe that we did give them that information.
We did tell them that they had gone on a camping trip for 3 days for the
Yes.
weekend.
Did
Yeah.
you think there was
tell them
anything
that.
unusual about
Yes.
that?
Well, to
After
me,
we knew they were missing,
Yeah.
after Gabby was missing, when they came to our house on Saturday night a
Yeah.
week ago and told us they were working a missing persons case.
yeah.
That,
And also, which struck me as I spoke to my wife about, is that the parents going on a trip, I can see that, but taking their 23-year-old son in a small camper that's on the back of the truck struck us as odd.
Okay, well, that's very interesting. Thank you both very much for.
All right, so September 1st through the 6th, we got this witness report also from the Laundrie family home of the neighbors seeing them pack up the camper. So we know that Brian Laundrie returned home on the 1st and
witness.
whoops, sorry about that. Returned home on the 1st, where he at some point met up with his parents, who him and his parents then decided to drive to Cassie Laundrie's house, which was closer to the campground. So that was September 1st through the 6th is when the neighbors saw them packing up the camper and when the stuff happened with the sister and Brian Laundrie returning home.
Witness.
So September 6th through the 8th, we find ourselves at Fort DeSoto Park Campground. And as you can see on your screen, this is an image of the campgrounds and the sites where campers can be. And I found this interesting when I was
This
looking
is
at
where
this
the gun
map.
was found.
Yeah, and I found this interesting. So when you look at this map, it has areas. So area 1, I don't know if anybody really talked about this. Area 1 is tents, vans, pop-ups, no pets. And that's 1 through 85. And then area 2 is all camping units, pet friendly. So that would probably be like medium-sized campers. And then area 3 would be all like medium-sized campers. So area 1, tents, vans, pop-ups, no pets. I guess they would consider that camper on the back of the pickup truck as a smaller, campground. But just some information to note.
The FBI also now in possession of surveillance video from the Laundrie family camping trip at Fort DeSoto Park. Brian and his parents spent 3 days at this campground in Pinellas County, Florida over Labor Day weekend.
Apparently, they were at the campground when we were there, and they were right next to us.
This Fort Myers family, who stayed in the adjacent campsite, possibly the last to see the Laundries all together.
They kept to themselves. They were there, and then they weren't.
The couple taking a closer look at their photos taken, one selfie capturing this, the man walking in the background who they believe could possibly be Brian. All this just days before Petito would be reported missing.
If somebody I knew was missing, I wouldn't be going camping.
The Laundrie family attorney says that Brian's parents did not help him flee. There was a federal warrant for Brian Laundrie's arrest. Michael?
So that was a news media clip from around the time period when Fort DeSoto was first learned about, that the parents had went there. So, according to documents obtained by Fox News, Roberta Laundrie canceled a camping trip to Fort DeSoto Park Campground in St. Petersburg, Florida. She initially planned a trip for 2 people from September 1st through September 2nd, but apparently canceled those reservations and rescheduled the camping trip for September 6th to include 3 people. So I had told Kathy about this. I couldn't narrow it down exactly, but Roberta Laundrie canceled their first camping trip in August, back like August 28th, I believe it was. Which, hey guys, that's right around the same time when we find that Gabby Petito may have been murdered. So, I believe if you dig into this, I believe it was August 28th is when the first campground spot at St. Petersburg, Florida was canceled. And then it was rescheduled for September 6th to include 3 people. So that's evidence in itself, guys, that they knew Brian.
9-1 to 9-3 was when they had a reservation and canceled it.
9-1 to 9-3. But that's evidence right there in itself that in order for this to happen, Brian had to have called his parents.
Well, it actually got canceled on 8/31.
8/31, okay, but Brian wasn't home, Kathy.
Exactly.
So how did
But
she
he
know
called
to
his
include
daddy and said, "I'm heading home. There's an emergency or something."
something? Okay, that points to that. So because how did they know to reschedule for 3 people? See what I'm saying? So he had to have called home, guys. So that's just a little piece of evidence.
They were going to take him there to hide and then decided, no, let's cancel that and go hide at this other place. I don't know. I hate to accuse his parents of hiding him, but I don't know.
So now you're looking at the exact, from what I could gather.
Yeah, it was site number 1.
Can't 100% confirm this sheet of paper, but according to what I've found, this is the exact check-in sheet from the campground.
Yeah, this is what was circulating, and it was on pretty reputable news sources that were saying this is the actual check-in sheet that the campground provided.
Right, and it says right at the top, I made it in bigger and brought it out. It says Monday, September 6, 2021. Remember, this is a check-in sheet. Site 1, waterfront, and it says 9/6/2021 through 9/8/2021, Roberta Laundrie. So she had to have checked in for them to put her name on this sheet. This is a check-in sheet. So there's more supporting information of it. And then, according to the Fort DeSoto campground check-in sheet, Roberta Laundrie checked into the campground on September 6th and stayed in Site 1. That's like the first site, as you can see on the map. That's the first site when you go into the campground, pretty much. And that's on the side of tents, vans, pop-ups, no pets. Area 1.
On the 6th through the 8th at Fort DeSoto. We were at Fort DeSoto on the 6th. We got there at around 2 o'clock, and we left around 8 because the kids had school the next day.
On the 6th?
On the 6th. We only stayed for about 6 hours.
Who was there?
My mom, my dad, my brother.
Would you guys be willing to go on record to say that you would like your brother Brian Laundrie to turn himself over to the authorities?
What was going on at Fort DeSoto campground? What were you guys doing there? Like, where there was a campfire?
We had s'mores, we had dinner.
What did Brian say anything about Gabby?
We had our kids there. Nothing came up.
He didn't say anything about Gabby.
No, we've told the FBI everything.
Did Brian go?
The world does not need to know what the FBI knows. And that's why we're silent.
They've asked us to not say anything, really.
This is me coming out against them.
They're suffering. Big
We're
time.
suffering.
Well,
They're suffering.
to be fair,
I
they lost a
understand
life.
your view.
I mean, to be fair, they lost a
100%.
life. So
I know.
I feel bad for you, but again, I don't
No,
feel bad
I know.
for you.
That's fine. You feel how you
So-
feel. We how we feel. My kids are upset. You're upsetting my children, who are very upset that they had to find out that their aunt died from you people screaming at them from the house. So that's not
Where
fair.
was that at?
On Saturday when you were here.
Your aunt died.
No, their aunt.
Their aunt died.
Yes,
The future aunt.
they consider her aunt. Aunt Gabby forever. So
To be honest with you, we can't even hear you inside.
We can.
I mean,
All right, I'm not gonna play the whole video just right now. But I did get your email. I did get your message, Kathy, and I seen it's from. I don't
That's
want to
from
say
Tim.
it. Okay, from
Aussie.
Tim. When you guys go on the interactive map, yeah, the spot where Brian Laundrie's remains were found was a little tough to locate the exact spot, but I tried to get it as close as I could. But Tim wrote an email and said that it's off a bit, and I'll go back in and I'll review Tim's information. Thank you, Tim. And you can disturb me anytime. You're fine, man. So that was some more supporting information. When I look at Cassie Laundrie speaking in the moments, we could do a character profile of just looking at that video, because there is times where sometimes I don't know if I fully believe what she's saying, and then other times I believe she's being for 100% honest. So
Well, hang on before you start. There's something I need to ask. When they questioned her, I don't know if it was in this interview or another one, and she said we had to leave early because we had to get the kids back to school because it was Labor Day weekend. Da 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 da. Labor Day weekend was not until the next weekend, and I know that because I was in Texas and I was driving on Monday to Labor Day. So that is not when they were camping.
right, and she said the 6th. So it almost seems like from when the parents and Brian supposedly picked her kid up from school that they never left each other, because she was there
Exactly.
on the first day of the camping trip. And then, like I showed you on the map earlier, we can jump back really quick to show it. On the way to the campsite, see on this map that I'm showing you right now, from what I found, that's Cassie Laundrie's house. So I don't have the map pulled up right now, but if you go above C from what you're looking at right now and up to the left where the water is, see where it says Terra Sea Aquatic Preserve? That other marker up top left is the campground.
I've got the interactive map link in the chat. I just put it in there if someone wants to go in and like follow along what you're showing.
Right. Thank you, Kathy. I don't know if can I put my mouse up here? Sometimes I think I can, sometimes I can't. To show you closer. No, I can't put my mouse up there. But yeah, so it goes A, B, C, and then that top left star that you're seeing up in the top left of the map square is the campground. So if they left the Laundrie family home and went to Cassie Laundrie's house, it almost looks like they left from Cassie's Laundrie's house and went to the campground. Like they all stayed at the sister's house all that period. But supporting information says that's incorrect too, though, because the neighbors did see them packing up the camper, and they don't know exactly which date that was.
How many miles is it from the Laundries to Cassie's?
I'm not sure. I don't have that pulled up right this second.
All right.
But it's a pretty good distance. If you can pull up the map, you should be able to see it right, or I don't know, that map. I know you're not too technical with the map, so
Yeah, I'm not gonna mess with the map right now. I just wondered if you knew right offhand.
I gotcha. So that was all from September 1st through the 9th, correct? Yeah, September 1st through the 8th, let's say. So then on September 9th through the 10th, a witness came out named Karen Aberts, and she said it was Thursday or Friday. They, as a family, the mom, dad, and him, Brian Laundrie, came out to take a stroll in the neighborhood.
Yeah, I saw him. They went for a walk in the neighborhood. That was about all I saw.
Okay, so you saw him. Okay, September. I'm sure you don't remember the day, right?
I want to say it was Thursday or Friday before we knew Gabby was missing.
Okay, great. So what did you see?
They, as a family, the mom, dad, and him came out to take a stroll in the neighborhood. It was really all.
You didn't think anything of it?
No, not at all.
Looked like a normal interaction.
Yeah, we'd seen them do that before, so it never seemed strange to us that they would go for a walk through the neighborhood. So.
And then Gabby, over the last 2 years, you used to see her all the time?
They actually hadn't been in the house for the last 2 years. Okay. The whole family, they didn't actually. There was somebody renting the house.
I read that, yeah.
And so, but once they moved in, we did see her occasionally.
Yeah.
Not very often. We saw Brian more so as they were working on the van, but we didn't see her terribly often, every now and then.
So you saw him working on the van. What was he doing?
Woodwork, putting up paneling or making a bench, it looked like, of some sort in the van. We didn't know that they were converting the van. We just knew that they were working on it. So.
And when you saw him come back, your initial reaction was he's back from his trip.
Yeah, because at that point, I didn't know. I didn't know that she formally lived here. I thought maybe she was visiting. So, because we just, they hadn't been here very long, so I didn't know if she was just a girlfriend visiting and that sort of thing.
What's your reaction to all this now? How are you guys have been a front row seat to this thing. How are you feeling?
It's very surreal. Very surreal in the sense that you just never expect to see or know somebody in your neighborhood that was either with somebody and had something terrible happen, or could have been, much less, actually the perpetrator of something terrible happening to somebody.
So that was witness Karen Aberts who came forward, and she said Thursday or Friday. When you look those dates up on the calendar, that comes out to September 9th or 10th. So the camping trip ended 9/8. So they definitely seem to have left. And then she saw Brian Laundrie, according to this witness, on September 9th or 10th. So the whole thing about Dog saying maybe he never left the campground, if you follow this witness, he did leave the campground. He did come back here.
Well, exactly. And the thing is on the 10th is when Gabby's mom reached out to the Laundries again with no response. And there's also that incident, the police incident, that we're not sure what's going on with the dad on the 10th. And on the 10th, Gabby's mom tries to file a missing report with Northport police, and they wouldn't let her. So the next day, she reported him in Suffolk County, Long Island, in New York.
Yeah, on September 10th. So it was probably more than likely that witness saw Brian and the mom and dad on the 9th. Because on the 10th, all this stuff popped off. And you're looking at it right now on your screen. This is from Northport Police Department. Northport cops first responded to the home shortly before 4 p.m. September 10th on a public service call, according to the records. 2 incident reports were filed by police at the Laundrie residence September 10th.
And redacted is going to be Joe Petito.
And both of these are September 10th. And it says problem settled. It says the address. And it says received phone call. And yeah, it blocked out what it's about, but from witness reports of the family and stuff like that, supposedly Joe Petito did go to the Laundrie family home around this time and got in a big argument.
There were conflicting reports as to whether he went to the home or whether it was a phone call, because everything's redacted on here. So we don't know for sure what exactly went on, but it's like the dad made a stink on the 10th.
Yeah. And then but the weird thing about it is on the 11th, according to my notes, what I put down here, Kathy, it says Joe Petito did not physically go to the Laundrie home, but expressed concern over his daughter, the outlet reported Thursday. That came from a news source. And then it said cops returned to the house shortly after 1 p.m. and 4:30 p.m. September 11th for follow-up calls and an agency assist call shortly before 8:30 p.m. with a report submitted after the day's third visit, the records show. And these are all three, guys. So
Well,
this one
they
says,
impounded the car on the 11th. So Joe Petito, when he went and made those missing person reports, whatever happened the day before with the police, it's like on the 11th, something bigger happened because they went and impounded the van on the 11th.
yeah, the van, yeah. And you can see right here, if you read the report, it says reported CFS, and it says 1017 follow-up investigation on this one. It says reported CFS, SIG 90 agency assist, and then it says reported CFS 1017 follow-up investigation. So there was a lot of stuff going on the 10th and 11th, and a lot of it got redacted to know for sure exactly what it was.
Oh, wait a minute. This page you're on right now, it does say at the very bottom, underneath where it's blacked out, Joe Petito did not physically go to the laundry home, but expressed concern.
Yeah, so that
that's
must
on
be
this
part of
police
the
report.
picture.
Yeah.
Okay, that's part of the picture then. Yeah. Yeah, that's at the bottom there, yeah.
Well, we don't know if it's part of the picture because at the very bottom of this it says 3 incident reports are filed by police at the laundry residence.
I put that in. Yeah, I put that in.
Okay. So the rest of it is part of that report.
Well, I put the last 2 lines in. I did this a while ago. I'm pretty sure I put all those lines in. Yeah. So I think I did put all that information in.
So that section under the black box isn't necessarily on this report. That's
right.
what you're putting your findings are.
Yeah, that's what my findings of it were, yes.
Okay, gotcha.
So it says September 11th, Gabby Petito reported missing. Partially redacted call logs seen by Daily Mail, which it's Daily Mail, guys, show 2 911 calls were made that day to Northport Police in connection to the Laundrie family home, with Laundrie 23 and Petito 22 lived with his parents before their doomed cross-country trip. Both calls were classed as a public service calls, with the first made just before 4 p.m. and the second around 6:30 p.m. It is not clear if these were the same calls made by the Petito family, but both were given the brief description of problem settled. The following day, September 11th, Petito's family succeeded in reporting her missing in her native state, New York, kicking off the huge search for Gabby Petito. On September 12th through the 13th, Bertolino said he spoke to Brian Laundrie on September 12th and September 13th. The same day, he is alleged to have disappeared after leaving for a hike in the nearby, and I'm going to murder this probably, Myakkahatchee Creek Environmental Park. The attorney, who said he has known the Laundrie family for more than 20 years, said during a previous television interview that Brian was grieving and was upset when he left for the hike that day. On Friday, he stepped away from that, saying he used the wrong term and could have used a better choice of words. I still stand by that Brian was upset. He was distressed. He was out of sorts, Bertolino told Fox News Digital. At the time, Chris said, I couldn't stop him. He was going. Brian was determined to go for a hike, and that seems to be something that we wish he didn't do. So that's all taken from the lawyer, Bertolino, and the Laundrie family. So on September 11th through the 13th, sometime between September 12th and 14th, Gabby Petito's van was towed from the Laundrie family home. And this is a picture of the van in police impound. And we looked at this picture before where you can see the missing seat cover on the driver's side. So September 13th through the 15th, and this is the silver Mustang and the burner phone. September 13th, Chris and Roberta Laundrie recall on this day Brian Laundrie left home, depressed, and told them he was going to the Carlton Reserve to go hiking. Steve Bertolino, the attorney who represents the Laundries and his parents, Chris and Roberta Laundrie, told CNN that upon further communication with the FBI, we now believe the day that Brian left to hike in the preserve was Monday, September 13th. His parents had previously told authorities he had left on the 14th. Chris Laundrie went to look for his son on the night of September 13th when he didn't return from the park, Bertolino told CNN on Wednesday. The next day, Brian's parents returned to the area to look for Brian and saw the citation on the car. Bertolino said, "This is the silver Mustang." The parents returned again the next day on September 15th to retrieve the vehicle. The Laundries were basing the date Brian left on their recollection of certain events. Upon further communication with the FBI and confirmation of the Mustang being at the Laundrie residence on Wednesday, September 15th, we now believe the day that Brian left to hike in the preserve was Monday, September 13th, Bertolino said. On September 14th, News Nation reporter Brian Enton arrives at the Laundrie family home on September 14th. From this day forward, Brian Enton, great reporter, this is the guy who recently did the retracing of Gabby's and Brian's steps all up to Wyoming, would video document any and all activity that happened outside of the Laundrie's residence. So as you can see in this video, Brian Laundrie's silver Mustang is not in the driveway on September 14th. Let's take a look.
Sir? Sir? Sir?
So as you can see clearly in that video, the silver Mustang is not in the driveway on September 14th. And this is when Brian Enton arrived on the scene. This is before the protesters, anybody got there. He was the first one that pretty much showed up on the scene. So September 14th. On September 14th, Brian Enton recorded multiple videos in front of the Laundrie family home. What you just saw, Roberta and Chris Laundrie leaving the home, that was supposedly when they went looking for Brian. Brian Enton captured that on video because the Mustang is not in the driveway. So on the same day, Brian Enton recorded multiple videos outside of the Laundrie family home. Behind him, the Mustang is missing, or Brian Laundrie was not home at this time.
Well, Nicole, that's one of the big questions tonight. Where is the boyfriend? We're outside the boyfriend's parents right now, just outside Tampa. Take a look. We know the parents are inside.
And this is before Brian was reported missing. They think he's in the house
the van that the couple was
right
in
now.
was right here in the driveway, but police showed up overnight and towed it away. 22-year-old Gabby Petito was on a cross-country road trip in a van with her boyfriend.
Right, stretching, doing some morning yoga.
The trip documented on social media until Gabby vanished somewhere near the Grand Teton National Park in Wyoming. The last text to her family was August 30th. They got worried when they didn't hear from her again.
It was like day 8 and 9 that I really became concerned and figured she couldn't be off the grid for that long.
The van the couple was in was last seen here in Northport, Florida, at Gabby's boyfriend's parents' house. Police towed the van away to be processed by the FBI and say Gabby's boyfriend, Brian Laundrie, is not talking.
I think most people would think that this individual might have some details as far as the last time he saw her, the last whereabouts. Yeah, I think it has not been helpful that we have not been able to talk to him.
No one answered the door, but the attorney for Brian Laundrie's family released a statement today saying, on behalf of the Laundrie family, it is our hope that the search for Ms. Petito is successful and that Ms. Petito is reunited with her family. On the advice of counsel, the Laundrie family is remaining in the background at this juncture and will have no further comment.
As a mom, I had concerns for my daughter going on a road trip in general, but I felt safe. They were together, they had a plan, they had an itinerary.
And it's important to point out that the boyfriend right now is not a suspect. Police say he's not a person of interest, but they want to talk to him, and they say he will not talk to detectives, and his parents, who are in the house behind me, are also not talking to detectives right now. Nicole?
All right, well, Brian, that's what I wanted to ask you. So have police named any persons of interest? They're not naming the boyfriend.
It's interesting. They're being very, very tight-lipped. They're not telling us all of those kinds of details, but they are on the case. Not only the local police here in Florida, but the FBI also investigating, and we know there have been detectives out here. We've seen them throughout the day going to the different neighbors, asking them if they know anything.
All right. So like I said, this is before Brian was even known as a person missing or a person of interest, which they played that line very closely throughout the whole thing. Also on September 14th, Miss Petito, statement from counsel for the Laundrie family from Bertolino. This is understandably an extremely difficult time for both the Petito family and the Laundrie family. It is our understanding that a search has been organized for Miss Petito in or near Grand Teton National Park in Wyoming. On behalf of the Laundrie family, it is our hope that the search for Miss Petito is successful and Miss Petito is reunited with her family. On the advice of counsel, the Laundrie family is remaining in the background, just like the video just said. Also on September 14th, a lot of stuff happened. Federal investigators believe Brian Laundrie purchased a burner phone at an AT&T store in his hometown of Northport, Florida on the day he went missing. FBI agents seized surveillance footage from the store as reports have surfaced that the Laundries may have visited the establishment on September 14th. This is the day Brian Laundrie reportedly left his parents' home to go for a hike, which is 3 days after Gabby Petito was reported missing on September 11th. On September 14th, and you can see the date, I marked it in red right here, September 14th, an abandoned vehicle incident report is written at the entrance of the Myakkahatchee Creek Environmental Park, and a note is left on Brian Laundrie's Mustang parked in a small parking lot at the entrance of the park. And as we went over before, and we talked a little bit about, that's when Chris and Roberta Laundrie were driving to the park, and they had spotted the vehicle the first day. Then they came back the second day, and they seen this report supposedly stuck on the window. September 14th, Chris Laundrie went to look for his son on the night of September 13th when he didn't return from the park. Bertolino told CNN on Wednesday. The next day, Brian's parents returned to the area to look for Brian and saw the citation on the car, Bertolino said. On September 14th, Brian Enton captured this video of Chris and Roberta Laundrie returning home. And as you can see, the Mustang is not in the driveway. September 15th, Chris Laundrie went to look for his son on the night of September 13th when he didn't return from the bar, Bertolino told him on Wednesday. The next day, Brian's parents returned to the area to look for Brian and saw the citation on the car, Bertolino said. The parents returned again the next day, September 15th, to retrieve the vehicle. On September 15th, Brian Enton captured this video. In the driveway can be seen Brian Laundrie's silver Mustang return to the Laundrie residence. So there is proof that on September 15th, because of Brian Enton capturing video outside the Laundrie family homes from the 13th to the 15th, that the Mustang was gone that time period. And then on the night of September 15th, he captured this quick little video that shows the Mustang is now back in the driveway. On September 15th, the Northport PD issued this written statement. And I'm not going to read all this, but I'll let it sit for a second. They basically said the national search into the disappearance of Gabrielle Petito of Northport continues due to the parties in the case residing in Northport, Florida. The Northport Police Department will be the primary investigating agency in partnership with the Federal Bureau of Investigations. We will also continue to work with the Suffolk County Police Department, and we are thankful for their assistance. And you can read all that. That's a statement from Northport PD released on September 15th. September 15th, Brian Enton wrote on his Twitter, new from Northport, Florida Police. As of now, Brian Laundrie has not made himself available to be interviewed or provided any helpful details. He returned to Florida on September 1 through 10, days before Gabby Petito went missing. September 15th. This is when Northport Police started to put out more information. And they put out this on their Twitter page of the van in police impound. They put these pictures out, and they put out a description. They put out that that statement that I showed a moment ago. On September 15th, Brian Enton wrote, just finished interview with Northport Police. Brian Laundrie is still not talking to them. Detectives are extremely frustrated. FBI is now very much involved in the multi-state investigation. I'm headed back to the parents' house now. He also wrote here, not much has changed, but a lot more media. I pressed police today on whether they know where he is located right now. And Brian Enton said that the police told him, we have an idea of where he has been. We have had an idea of where he has been, but it's not minute to minute. And that's just a close-up photo of the van in police impound.
Well, on the 16th is when that press conference was held, and the Northport police were like, we know where he is. They didn't say if or maybe. It's like, oh, we know right where he is.
Yeah, I'm coming up on that too. So also on August 15th, I believe, I don't know why it seems like that's not right, but on August 15th is when all the information about the police stop in Moab of Gabby and Brian started to come out. And these are actually the witness reports. And I added these to the part 1 of the case. But I added them here too, just to put them in where they happened at on the correct date. So one of the officers, Pratt Eric, and this is his actual written statement of what happened at Moonflower when Gabby and Brian got pulled over. And I'm just going through it kind of slow so you guys can come back and pause this at any time to gather information. That's why me and Kathy are doing this. We're stacking up all the information so anybody who's investigating and wants to try to help Gabby's case, that's what we're trying to do, have information readily available and put together. So a second officer that was on the scene at the police stop was Daniel Scott Robbins. And this is his testimony of what happened on the scene when they got pulled over in Moab. Okay, September 15th through the 16th. Northport Police Department Chief Todd Garrison. We got the police chief Todd Garrison coming out. And like Kathy just said, September 16th, police briefing on Gabby Petito's missing person case. And this is such a pivotal picture right here, guys, because you see how they added them all up in poster boards like that. And it's just so sad. When I go to release this entire slideshow, this entire video is in the presentation. All of these videos that you're seeing, the entire video will be in the presentation. I'm not going to play it now, but it is here in the right date when it happened. So on September 15th, Chief Todd Garrison wrote, Mr. Stephen Bertolino-esque, Northport Police need your help in finding Gabby Petito. Please call us to arrange a conversation with Brian Laundrie. 2 people left on a trip and 1 person returned! ! He was angry that Brian Laundrie was not speaking, or Bertolino was not speaking. And he put pictures up on his Twitter page of the van in police impound. September 16th, the attorney calls on Laundrie family to reveal location of Gabby Petito. So this is the Petito family lawyer who's coming out in the media and basically begging the Laundrie family to please tell them where Gabby is. And like I said, that whole video is in this slideshow when I release the whole slideshow, which I'm hoping to have out for you guys coming this week, and that'll be like full-on documentary style. So September 16th, Law Office of Richard B. Stafford, that is the Petito family lawyer, put out this statement. Christopher and Roberta Laundrie, we are writing this letter to ask you to help find our beautiful daughter. We understand you are going through a difficult time, and your instinct is to protect your son is strong. We ask you to put yourself in our shoes. We haven't been able to sleep or eat, and our lives are falling apart. It's really sad. I'm not going to read all the way through it, but you guys can come back and pause, or when the full presentation is out, you'll be able to see it even longer. So finding Gabby Petito. Now this is Chief Ty Garrison again.
Gabby's family believes Brian knows where Gabby is or what happened to her. Do you believe he has a key to finding Gabby?
Absolutely. Like I said, 2 people went on a trip, 1 returned. That one that returned is not talking, and he has all the information I believe that we're looking for.
Where is Brian tonight?
We know where Brian's at, but I'm not going to
Oh, you do?
what location he's at.
Chief, I know you tweeted directly to Brian's parents at the start of this, and I want to share that message with folks at home. You said, the North Point police need your help finding Gabby Petito. Please call us to arrange a conversation with Brian Laundrie. 2 people left on a trip, as you said. 1 person returned. Where's Gabby? Brian has the Constitution.
And we went through that information, but this was the video clip that is now had this officer under investigation and taking a lot of heat, because he is the one that came out and said, we know where Brian is, he ain't going nowhere. Basically, he was very confident about that, and then as we know, Brian went missing. So on September 16th, the FBI Denver wrote on their Twitter, the FBI is working with our partners in the Teton County Sheriff's Office, Jackson Police Department, the National Park Service, and other state and local law enforcement agencies across the country in the investigation of Gabby Petito's disappearance. And that was the first FBI Twitter post I found. They also wrote, Miss Petito, 22, was last known to be in the area of Grand Teton National Park in Wyoming in August of 2021 and was reported missing on September 11th. She was on a cross-country road trip with her boyfriend, and that was the whole Twitter post. On September 16th, they described Gabby, and they said, Miss Petito is 5'5", 110 pounds, has long blonde hair, blue eyes, and visible tattoos on her hand and forearm. She and her boyfriend were driving a white 2012 Ford Transit van with a variety of stickers on the back. The van is registered to Miss Petito with Florida plate QFT G03. And then on September 17th, we have Brian Laundrie disappears. And the first bit of information I found out about Brian Laundrie's disappearance, they had wrote this Twitter post on the Northport Police Department page. And what they wrote was, the Northport Police Department and the Federal Bureau of Investigations are currently searching for 23-year-old Brian Laundrie of Northport. The attorney for the Laundrie family called FBI investigators Friday night, indicating the family would like to talk about the disappearance of their son. And then they even added a description of Brian Laundrie, which is Brian is described as white male, 5'8", 160 pounds, brown eyes, short brown hair, trim facial hair, last seen wearing a hiking bag with a waist strap. And you can read further on there. And then on September 17th, state of Florida search warrant is issued on the Laundrie family home and vehicles. Now, this is the search warrant I was telling you guys about that identified the vehicle being scan tagged on September 1st. In this search warrant, they put in as evidence that the vehicle was scan tagged on I-75, I believe it was. Gabby's van was scan tagged on September 1st. And this is the whole search warrant. And I'll just slowly kind of click through it. And if you want to come back and pause so you can review this information more, feel free to. And there's a lot of the evidence reported for the search warrant there. Okay, on September 17th, search warrant issued.
Justice needs to be served.
Gabby! Bring Gabby home! Yeah!
Where's Gabby, Brian? Where's Gabby? Where's Gabby? Where's Gabby?
Where's Gabby?
Where's Gabby, Brian? We're out here. Laundrie family, we're out here. We'll be out here every day.
September 17th, the FBI Denver field office and its Wyoming resident agencies, in coordination with the National Park Service, the Teton County Sheriff's Office, and the Jackson Police Department, have initiated a joint investigation into the disappearance of Gabby Petito. So this was a statement put out by the FBI on September 17th. Also on September 17th, Brian Enton wrote a prayer vigil tonight for the safe return of Gabby Petito. 7 p.m. City Center, Front Green, 4970 City Hall Boulevard, Northport, Florida. So there was a prayer vigil for Gabby. September 17th, breaking. The Grand County Sheriff's Office has determined that the disappearance of Gabby Petito and the murder of Moab couple are not related. And this started huge controversy because it was so early on. From what I have here, they haven't even found out where Gabby Petito's remains are yet. And yet they said these are not connected. So that was extremely odd. September 18th, the search for Brian Laundrie begins. And the law office of Richard B. Stafford, which is the Petito family lawyer, put out a statement. All of Gabby's family want the world to know that Brian is not missing. He is hiding. Gabby is missing. Also on September 18th, Northport Police, according to Brian Enton, Northport Police say the items taken out of the Brian Laundrie's house in evidence bags yesterday were articles of Brian's clothing. They needed clothes for the canines. Police say the parents would only talk about the whereabouts of Brian. Attorney was on the phone the entire time. And these are some pictures from the Myakkahatchee Park area, or the Carlton Reserve, of the police now searching the area, looking for Brian. So September 18th through the 19th, remains discovered at the Sprague Creek dispersed camping area. Sad day. So the first information I found that reported that the remains were discovered came from the FBI Denver. And they didn't say they had found the remains here on September 18th, but they put a post up that said, if you were in the area of Sprague Creek dispersed camping area as identified in the attached map during the time frame of August 27th to the 30th, 2021, and saw Gabby and or her boyfriend on their vehicle, please provide that information to the FBI. This is before it was discovered that her remains were found. But it seems they knew at this time, and they posted this post without saying it. And they also posted this. saying that the FBI is working with the National Park Service, Teton County Sheriff's Office, and the Jackson Police Department on the Petito case. They posted, the FBI seeks assistance from anyone who utilized the Sprague Creek dispersed camping area between the dates of August 27th to the 30th, 2021, who may have had contact with Gabby Petito, or her boyfriend. They said the Sprague Creek dispersed camping area is located in the Bridger-Teton National Forest on the east boundary of Grand Teton National Park. This area is closed to the public and will remain closed until the surveys are complete. And that was on September 18th.
So if everybody can just, keep Gabby in our hearts and in the light.
Organizers saying tonight is all about Gabby.
And I'm fully here to support Gabby's family and Gabby. I could care less about the Laundrie family. They know something. They're refusing to say anything.
These people don't know Gabby or her family, but they want them to know they're here for them.
We don't know you. We're here to support you. This touches my heart because if it was my kids, I would be over the top. They're holding it together a lot more than I would.
Parents putting themselves in Gabby's family's shoes.
All they want to know is where their child is, and this person won't try to tell them. And that's a hard thing.
Tonight, they're praying for answers.
Let the family know something. Good or bad. Something.
Hoping Gabby's family will get that information.
I want her to be found safe and sound.
Praying Gabby will come home.
I hope they find her and alive. I really do. I really do. And I really hope his family eventually helps and they get the answers for Gabby's family, because that's what matters. He don't matter. Gabby matters.
I mean, I just want to really say in my video here, thank you to all those families who didn't even know Gabby and came forward and put all this effort into bringing a spotlight to the case and trying to find answers for them, because I couldn't imagine losing my sister or my daughter. I don't even have kids, but I couldn't imagine what that pain would feel like. And then to have him sitting there, the family not even trying to speak out. So, really sad video there.
I would literally be in jail if I was in their situation, because I would not have been able to just sit there while that family did nothing.
Right.
Joe Petito has a lot more self-composure than I would have ever had.
Yeah. So, on September 19th, an update on the Gabrielle Petito investigation: remains are discovered. Today, the search revealed human remains consistent with the description of Gabby Petito. Full forensic identification has not been completed, and we do not yet know the cause of death. We appreciate your patience as we work through this process. And that was on September 19th when they put out this statement, the FBI. Also on the 19th, the lawyer for the Petito family put out, I am making a personal request to the members of the press and news media to refrain from contacting the Schmidt and Petito family. Due to today's developments, we are asking the press and news media to have some decorum and sensitivity for Gabby's family and allow them to grieve. I will be in contact with you when Gabby's family is ready to make a public statement. And at the bottom he wrote, thanking the FBI. Also on September 19th, the Red, White, and Bethune YouTube channel released the video. And again, I want to thank you, God and the universe out there, for allowing these people to be in that area and spot the van on their video and get out safely and nothing happened to them, because this video was probably how Gabby was found so quickly, thank God. And I believe that's what set this whole case in motion way quicker than what it was. And this is the actual video, but I'm not going to play it now. when I put out the double of part 1 and part 2, it'll play the whole video in the documentary style of the whole case. So, on September 20th through the 21st, Sprague Creek, human remains confirmed as Gabby Petito.
Good afternoon. My name is Charles Jones. I'm the Supervisory Senior Resident Agent here in Wyoming for FBI Denver. Standing with me here today are Acting Chief Ranger Matt Wilbert of the National Park Service, Hunter Bailey, who is Chief of the National Park Service Investigative Services Branch. We also have Teton County Sheriff Matt Carr and Jackson Police Chief Michelle Weber. First and foremost, on behalf of the FBI personnel and our partners, I would like to extend sincere and heartfelt condolences to Gabby's family. Joe, Tara, Petito, and Jim and Nicole Schmidt. As every parent can imagine, this is an incredibly difficult time for the family and friends.
So yeah, I'm not going to play the old press conference, but that will be included also. So, on September 20th, the FBI Tampa, now there's different FBI Twitter accounts. This is FBI Tampa. The other ones were FBI Denver. This is FBI Tampa. Update, the FBI is executing a court-authorized search warrant today at the Laundrie residence in Northport, Florida, relevant to the Gabby Petito investigation. No further details can be provided since this is an active and ongoing investigation. That was on September 20th. Police/FBI enter Laundrie home and they tow the silver Mustang. Also on September 20th, Baker, Florida. Man that looks like Brian Laundrie is spotted hundreds of miles away on a trail cam on September 20th.
Now to the latest on the search for Gabby Petito's fiance, Brian Laundrie. Police in Florida continue to scour an alligator-infested reserve where they believe he may be, but hundreds of miles away. TMZ obtained a photo from somebody who thinks that they actually spotted Laundrie on their trail camera. Let's get right over to Marina Morocco for the very latest development. Marina.
Yeah, Angie, there have been a lot of web sleuths in this entire case, potentially even leading to the remains of Gabby Petito. But investigators continuing their search tonight for Brian Laundrie inside a 25,000-acre reserve near the couple's home in Northport, Florida. He's wanted for questioning in Gabby Petito's disappearance. He has not been seen since September 14th. Now, the reserve, it's got hiking trails, biking trails, campsites. There's also thick foliage that covers a lot of it, making that search a challenge. Laundrie's family says he told them he was headed there for a hike, left home with a backpack. And TMZ has since obtained this photo from a man who says a person that fits Laundrie's description was seen on their trail camera early Monday morning. This is in Baker, Florida. That photo shows a person with a backpack trekking through the woods. Keep in mind that Baker, Florida is about 500 miles away from Northport, where he was last seen. However, people quick to point out the similarities between the backpack in the surveillance photo and a picture of Brian's backpack that was found on social media. The man who has a photo alerted the authorities in the Okaloosa
Now, this is an interesting photo because that backpack is very similar. But also, as we know, where the remains were found, that backpack in that picture does look like that weird looking bag we were looking at in the other live stream before. And that was on September 20th. On September 21st, FBI Denver, remember I said there's different FBI Twitter pages. So this is FBI Denver, put out a statement. The FBI's commitment to justice is at the forefront of each. I'll read the top. Teton County Coroner Dr. Brent Blue confirmed the remains are those of Gabrielle Venora Petito, date of birth March 19th, 1999. My birthday is March 30th. We were kind of close in dates, but I'm older than her. Coroner Blue's initial determination for the manner of death is homicide. The cause of death remains pending final autopsy results. And that was on September 21st. And they also put out this statement on the 21st. Teton County, the FBI did. Teton County Coroner Dr. Brent Blue confirmed the remains are those of Gabrielle Venora Petito, date of birth March 1999. That's just showing you the official statement. And then on September 22nd, the Petito family lawyer put out this statement. Mr. Bertolino, the Petito and Schmidt family are demanding that you remove Gabby Petito's picture from your Yelp page. That web page is, the family tried to remove their daughter's picture from your page and were informed that only the business owner can add or remove pictures. Furthermore, the Petito and Schmidt family demand that you cease and desist posting pictures of Gabby Petito to any and all of your social media pages, web pages, or advertisements in an effort to gain business. I am sure this will be taken care of by 2 p.m. or I will take further action on behalf of Gabby's family. So what this is about is Bertolino took pictures of Gabby Petito and Brian Laundrie's case, pictures of Gabby and Brian, and put them on his Yelp page and advertised of cases that he's done in the past in order to gain good business. And the Petito family lawyer saw this and wrote him this statement demanding that he take it down, or they were going to get him for copyright infringement, I'm guessing, or go after him for doing so. And that's just terrible. Why would you do that? That's like trying to stick a hot poker on somebody. Like you're trying to mess with people. September 23rd, U.S. District Court of Wyoming issues federal arrest warrant for Brian Laundrie. Use of unauthorized access devices. So this is when they came out. So this was the District Court of Wyoming that came out and issued an arrest warrant for Brian Laundrie for using the card that people were speculating on. And this is the actual arrest warrant that you're seeing. On September 23rd, the U.S. District Court of Wyoming. So this is the FBI Denver confirming the arrest warrant being issued. And that was posted to FBI Denver. Excuse me. September 23rd, Chris and Roberta Laundrie meet with the attorney Stephen Bertolino in Orlando. Now this is kind of sketchy. So September 23rd, the parents of missing Brian Laundrie were shadowed by undercover agents Thursday as they broke cover and drove 150 miles to Orlando to meet with an attorney, which Daily Mail says here. Lawyer Steve Bertolino flew from New York to Florida specifically to meet with Brian's parents after a federal arrest warrant was issued for the missing 23-year-old on Wednesday. A convoy of unmarked vehicles first tailed Christopher and Roberta Laundrie as they left their Northport, Florida home and headed towards Orlando earlier this morning. In surreal scenes, undercover agents, believed to be with the FBI, followed the couple into the Orlando Public Library on Thursday and hovered in the aisles using 80s dance CDs and Colombian art installation while keeping them under constant surveillance. Though it is not clear what they were doing in the library, it's now known that the couple met Bertolino in Orlando during their trip. It is my understanding that the arrest warrant for Brian Laundrie is related to activities occurring after the death of Gabby Petito and not related to her actual demise, Bertolino said. The FBI is focusing on locating Brian, and when that occurs, the specific of the charges covered under the indictment will be addressed. So this is Chris and Roberta Laundrie returning from Orlando on September 23rd.
Mr. Laundrie, where's your son? Do you know anything about what happened to Gabby Petito? Why aren't you talking? Why aren't you out looking for your son? Why aren't you at the reserve looking for your son?
So then another weird thing in this case. So that happened on September 23rd. They went to Orlando, met with Bertolino supposedly. And then on September 24th, this weird police activity happened where police showed up at the Laundrie family home and surrounded the home and like basically kicked the door in. And it was weird. Weird activity at the Laundrie family home. Police called and surrounded the house due to a false shots fired in the area call. And that was on September 24th. And there's more videos of that if you go online and look it up around that date. Also held on September 24th, a vigil was held for Gabby Petito in her hometown of Blue Point, New York.
Blue Point is a tight-knit community, and tonight they show just that. Gabby Petito's hometown paying tribute to the 22-year-old whose life was tragically cut too short.
Really affected everyone here.
It was a beautiful soul. She was a beautiful person, kind.
Just before 7 p.m., residents on Blue Point Avenue walked outside and started lighting up candles at the edges of their driveways in honor of Gabby and her life.
It's such a tight community and such a strong community that when a family goes through something so hard, you just want to show them support in any way that you can.
We just want to do anything that we can to support this family and what this community is going through, standing behind this family. Many never met Gabby or her family, but say her story touched everyone. The Long Island native went missing while on a cross-country road trip with her fiancé, Brian Laundrie, who is now considered a person of interest in her death.
So yeah, I mean, again, thank you to all the people who came out and showed support to this family, and hopefully in the end we'll find more answers than what we know as of today. September 25th, guess who shows up? Dog the Bounty Hunter enters the search. Dog the Bounty Hunter knocks on the Laundrie's front door on September 25th. Also on September 25th, he gives a statement of why he's there.
Because I lost a daughter at about the same age, I know what the parents feel like, okay? And you want justification. You want the guy behind bars. All of it's alleged that he even committed the murder. But circumstantially, it looks like he did. You know, the strongest lead I see is that one of her friends said he had been in the Appalachian Mountains by himself for a couple months. Now, he's not just a camper then. He is a outdoorsman. So in order to do that, I think because of his age, he felt comfortable. If there's anywhere right now that looks the hottest, that could be the area. It all depends on the picture they got of him the other day where they're hunting now. If really that was him. No one has said that. If not, Appalachian Mountains is the best. But it covers several states. So where did he go in at? That's where you start your tracking point. From right when he went into the mountain with dogs. They've got so much infrared. I mean, they're going to catch him.
So Dog the Bounty Hunter joins the search for Brian Laundrie on September 25th. On September 26th, a funeral service is held for Gabrielle Venora Petito, March 19th, 1999 through August 27th through the 30th. That's so sad to see it like that, 2021.
Gabby is the most amazing person I've ever met. So if you're going to leave here today, I'm asking that you guys be inspired by the way she treated people. All people.
Family and friends of Gabby Petito gathered in New York Sunday to say goodbye 1 week after the 22-year-old's remains were found in Wyoming.
It's about celebrating a beautiful person, a beautiful soul.
An empty urn was used during the memorial service as the FBI has not yet released Gabby's body to her family. Some who never even met Gabby made the trip just to pay their respects.
My youngest is 26, so I couldn't imagine it's happening to any parent.
I just wanted, it just touched everybody in so many ways.
Another vigil for Gabby was held Saturday night in Northport, Florida, where the search for her boyfriend, Brian Laundrie, continues.
If there's anything other than helping Gabby that you take from this case, is the fact of all the people who came out and supported this family, who's not a celebrity, who's just an everyday person, and all the support that came out to support this family, and the strength of the family. I mean, the strength that they showed is just unreal. So September 27th, Dog the Bounty Hunter reveals the Laundries, including Brian, visited Fort DeSoto campground.
We're down here in Florida in Fort DeSoto. It's almost dark. So we had a very good lead come up today that he was down here in this park not very far away. We checked our lead out. It is confirmed. The parents were down here 2 times. It was September 1st through the 3rd and September 6th through the 8th. They registered to stay at this park. They were registered, went through the gate, they're on camera, they were here. And they did enter. They did come here. Allegedly, what we're hearing is 2 people left on the 8th. 3 people came in on the 6th, and 2 people left on the 8th. I think he's been here for sure.
And as we talked about, we went through this earlier on. The reason why it's out of alignment with, I showed you this early on, is because I was lining it up with the whole timeline of Brian's Laundrie's whereabouts. Now, as we're going back through September and forward, we're seeing exactly when the information was discovered. So I was putting it in the correct timeline of where Brian went and when, and then now you're seeing when the information was released on what day. So this is when it was discovered, this check-in sheet, and that's what Dog the Bounty Hunter is quoting, is this check-in sheet that you're looking at right now, which we already went over before, and some of his information was a little off because he was just learning about it, and then later on we got more information about it. So September 27th, an attorney representing Brian Laundrie and his family told Insider on Monday that his parents don't know where he is, and any speculation that they assisted in his disappearance is just wrong. And this is Bertolino talking. Chris and Roberta Laundrie do not know where Brian is. Laundrie family attorney told Steve Bertolino said they are concerned about Brian and hope the FBI can locate him. This is because Dog the Bounty Hunter was putting all this pressure on the family at this point when they discovered the campground. On September 28th, Gabby Petito's family holds a press conference as hunt for Brian Laundrie continues.
Good afternoon.
And that's the lawyer for the family.
From the moment Nicole called to report that Gabby was missing, the worst fears of any parent played out before our eyes. That nightmare became a reality.
And that full video will be in the whole documentary presentation, but the strength of the family is just unreal. September 29th, Laundrie family attorney reveals Brian Laundrie purchased a phone from AT&T, now in possession of the FBI.
The FBI has a new focus in the search for Brian Laundrie. The Laundrie family attorney confirmed to us that the FBI is checking into a new phone that Brian bought before going MIA. The attorney confirmed Brian left it at the home the day he went for a hike in the preserve. Now, the attorney wouldn't confirm when Brian bought that new phone, but he believes it was purchased this month. And the FBI does now have it in their possession. Last week, police told us they still couldn't find Gabby's phone as they continue to try and figure out how she died. Tributes for Gabby continue across town. This is a live look right now at a memorial outside Northport City Hall, where local high school ROTC cadets are expected to perform tonight in Gabby's honor. The memorial there, the flowers, the balloons, the signs,
I mean, guys, did you hear that? Local ROTC vets are going to perform in Gabby's honor. I mean, the love. The love that just outpoured for this girl is amazing. September 30th, the FBI returned to the Laundrie family residence and they collect this weird cup from the Laundrie home. And this was a picture taken of the weird cup. October 4th, we jump ahead to Casey Laundrie talks to the Petito family supporters / reporters in front of her house.
Thank you.
This is what we took snapshots of this video. This is a long video, which it'll be all in the main slideshow of when Cassie Laundrie came outside because protesters were standing outside of her house and disturbing her kids. So she decided to come outside, and then she answered a bunch of questions, and she revealed a lot in that video, which I'm sure most people have seen up to this point. But that was on October 4th. Also on October 4th, Dog the Bounty Hunter discovers makeshift campsite near Fort DeSoto campground.
Friday, we found a makeshift, a very primitive camp that had some promising things around it. So we've gathered up all those things with gloves and baggies and turned them over yesterday to the FBI.
Well, the famed bounty hunter focused a lot of his attention on Fort DeSoto Park in Florida that Laundrie visited after returning home from his summer trip. He says he's set up cameras just in case Laundrie is island hopping and returns to the campsite. They're also going through thousands of tips.
There's fake leads coming in to try to get us off the track since the day we got here. And, of course, there'll be some good leads coming in. So right now, it's all up to the leads that we get, which direction we go.
So he found that makeshift campsite near Fort DeSoto, and that's when the pictures came out of the can, the energy drink can that they found that looked like the can that Brian drinks. So October 2nd through the 4th, hiker Dennis Davis calls 911 after having a run-in with who he believes was Brian Laundrie on the Appalachian Trail near the Tennessee and North Carolina border.
Henry County 911, what's the location of your emergency?
Well, I'm on the highway right now, but I ran into Brian Lauer.
He didn't even know his name completely. But in that 911 report, I'm not going to play it all here. He goes into describing what he saw.
Hey, we can.
So can you tell me how you felt after you realized you saw Brian Laundrie the next day, that night, and what did you do? Tell me about Dog the Bounty Hunter also.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I was totally, I would say, jacked up. I mean, my heart was racing all night. I mean, I saw him at 12:30.
And this is on the interactive map also.
All night long. I mean, it was 7 o'clock in the morning. I was still wide awake, and I was going to start hiking that next day. So I was wide awake. In the hours following that, I started texting some family and friends, and just to kind of tell them, because I just couldn't believe it still. And one of my coworkers said, well, you should call Dog the Bounty Hunter. And he sent me his phone number. So I called, I got a voicemail, but I just left him a quick little voicemail. And then I was texting with my family, and I said, somebody reach out to Dog the Bounty Hunter, just kind of joking. And my wife did it. She posted something on Dog's website. And his daughter, Dog's daughter, followed up with my wife, and that's really how all the media attention started going. What I hear is that there were a lot of media sources that were kind of monitoring his website, and all of a sudden all the interview requests started rolling in.
Henry County 911, what's the location of your emergency?
Well, I'm on the highway right now, but I ran into Brian Lauer just a little while ago.
Okay, where did you see him at?
I was at the parking lot for the Appalachian Trail on the north side of Great Sept.
Okay, can you tell me, like, was you at an overlook? Are you there?
Hello?
Are you still there?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Yeah, you're probably going through the gorge. You lose service every now and then. So where did you
Yeah.
see him at?
On Waterville Road.
And that's on the interactive map.
Okay. And just on Waterville, or did you
And if
see him
anybody
near a
wants to
house,
check
in
out the
a
interactive
mailbox?
map, it's free. It's a web page. You ain't got to
He
download
was
nothing.
driving a truck, and I stopped and talked to him.
Okay. Was he going up Waterville or back towards 40?
He was going away from 40.
It's pretty interesting. I want to play it as much as I can, but I don't want to hold everybody up all night either.
It was a white truck.
So yeah, that'll be in the full release of this video when we put out the combination documentary style of the video. So on October 5th, Brent Blue, coroner of Teton County, Wyoming, finds the cause of death for Gabby Petito as strangulation, and this is the actual statement written by the coroner. In the matter of the death of Gabrielle Venora Petito, I, Brent Blue, coroner of Teton County, Wyoming, hereby find the cause and manner of death by strangulation / throttling, manner homicide. October 7th, Northport, Florida. Officials confirm that Chris Laundrie, father of Brian Laundrie, is assisting the FBI and law enforcement with the search in the Carlton Reserve. Laundrie returned home Thursday afternoon after driving his vehicle to the reserve.
Mr. Laundrie, you have one good thing to say about your son? Mr. Laundrie, he got a sex dream today.
October 8th, Florida police were monitoring Brian Laundrie, the fiancé of Gabby Petito, before he went missing. A spokesman for the Northport police confirmed to Insider that Laundrie was under surveillance when he vanished on September 17th. He vanished all the same, and authorities only declared him missing after Laundrie's parents let them know. The police spokesman, Josh Taylor, said the officers monitoring Laundrie had done everything we could within the law. He did not specify what methods they had used. Now, the question arises, was Brian Laundrie found by the police? And did something happen? And I'm not trying to start a conspiracy, but something doesn't seem right. So on October 9th, check out this clip obtained by TMZ, which one witness tells us was shot from a surveillance camera on the outskirts of his property on October 9th in Dunalun, Florida, a tiny town about 3 hours north of Laundrie's hometown of Northport, where his family resides.
And there is a new development tonight in the search for Laundrie. A homeowner in Florida believes that his surveillance cameras captured Laundrie on his property. The footage shows a man riding his bike and then stopping for a moment. Now, this is near a home in Dunellen on October 9th. That's near Ocala, about 3 hours away from Laundrie's hometown of Northport. There you can see the man coming up right there. The homeowner told TMZ there is several acres of remote, unpopulated land behind his house. He says the biker was wearing an oversized backpack and heavy clothing, and that video was turned over to the FBI to get it checked out. Laundrie disappeared a few days after his fiancée, Gabby Petito, was reported missing by her family, and he is the only person of interest in the case.
So October 12th, Brent Blue, coroner of Teton County, Wyoming, holds press conference for Gabby Petito's cause of death. I'm sure most of us caught the press conference.
The cause and manner of death to be the cause, death by strangulation, and manner is homicide. By Wyoming state statute, no other information will be released about the autopsy. The only thing that is released in the state of Wyoming is cause and manner of death.
And I'm sure most of us saw that press conference when it was released on October 12th. Brian Laundrie, I don't know if many people saw this, but people who knew Brian Laundrie came out and spoke. And one said Brian Laundrie was a heavier set social outcast when he was at school, according to a longtime friend. Laundrie's pal exclusively told The Sun that Gabby Petito's on the run fiance was nearly 40 pounds heavier when he was 14 years old. And there's some pictures of him. October 14th also, Dog the Bounty Hunter visits Cassie Laundrie's house.
Good afternoon.
And you can tell by how he's acting, he really didn't want to get caught on video. I don't remember. Did she not answer the door? I mean, why wouldn't they answer the door for Dog? I mean, it clearly looked like someone came to the door for a minute.
Dog, can you tell me what
Wow.
you're hoping to speak with Cassie about?
They didn't answer the door. I
What are your hopes
didn't
in
realize
speaking with
that.
her?
Well, you know, we're obviously looking for her brother, so thank you very much.
Okay, and what attempts have you been having to get in touch with other family members?
A lot. We're trying to talk to someone who may know where he's at.
And do you think Cassie knows more information?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And how's your ankle, Dog?
It's a lot better.
It's a lot better?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.
So that's kind of odd because if you were his sister, I feel like you would want Dog to find him because Dog is known for finding people and helping them at the same time. Like not arresting them all physically violent and trying to bring them in alive compared to the police. Not saying the police don't bring everybody in alive. They do, but it's a lot more of a private affair if Dog finds you most of the time. So October 14th, cadaver dogs called to the Carlton Reserve as search continues for Brian Laundrie.
The swamp seemed to be the center of attention once again today. Law enforcement and search crews were deep inside the reserve. This time, they were with canines. After no action at the Carlton Reserve for days, this morning, car after car of law enforcement arrived.
Some weird
And
events
this was particularly interesting.
that all
The
went down
Canine
around the same
Forensics
time.
Unit. The Pasco County, Florida Sheriff's Office confirming they were called in by the FBI and are using their human remains detection canine at the reserve.
Again, this is an area they've searched several times in the past. The one thing we can tell you is that the area is drier than it has been. There's some law enforcement in the back of this vehicle.
The 24,000-acre reserve is a difficult place to search, but it's gotten easier over the past week because water levels continue to recede. With less flooding, is it possible investigators now believe they could locate Brian Laundrie's remains? They won't say, but Northport police did tell me less than 1 week ago they believe there's a 50-50 chance Brian is dead or alive.
So October 15th, rifle-wielding cops, crime scene tape for training at Laundrie search site sparked confusion. Now this, when I heard this, I'm like, something don't seem right, dude. I'm not trying to start any conspiracies, but like I said, if it points to maybe the cops had found Brian Laundrie earlier than expected, and maybe, some retribution was in order for what happened to Gabby, especially if Gabby was found laying in the middle of a field and say animals got to her body. I mean, how horrible is that? So is it a stretch to say maybe some cops found Brian and left him in a field to rot just like he did Gabby. And I'm not trying to start a conspiracy, but they were out there training too.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Marnie Hughes. We begin with some interesting activity at the Carlton Reserve in Florida, where authorities have been searching for Brian Laundrie for weeks now. What happened today caught our attention, and it is raising some questions. Law enforcement armed with rifles just a day after they brought cadaver dogs to that swamp. Northport police say the search continues, but they're also conducting training exercises in that same spot at the same time as this massive manhunt is underway. Former FBI agent Dennis Franks is joining us in just a moment with his take on the activity today. But first, correspondent Brian Enton is live in Northport tonight. Brian, it has been nearly 5 weeks now, no sign of Brian Laundrie, but something has certainly felt different these last 2 nights.
Yeah, absolutely, Marty. It definitely feels like the search has been ramping up at the reserve, at the swamp over the last 2 days. Yesterday, we saw the cadaver dogs, and today we saw police with assault rifles.
What is going on here, guys? Like, a whole lot of odd events taking place around this time period. October 19th, Brian Laundrie lookalike ambushed by federal agents at gunpoint on the Appalachian Trail, and that's the man on the right. But federal agents did ambush this man and thought he was Brian Laundrie on October 19th. And that was a statement issued by the New York Post, who followed that story. On October 20th, FBI said apparent human remains were found near some of Brian Laundrie's personal belongings in the Myakkahatchee Creek Environmental Park on Wednesday morning. The agency will likely be on the scene for several days as the investigation continues.
Investigators found what appears to be human remains, along with personal items, such as a backpack and notebook belonging to Brian Laundrie. These items were found in an area that up until recently have been underwater. Our evidence response team is on scene using all available forensic resources to process the area. It's likely the team will be on scene for several days. I know you have a lot of questions, but we don't have all the answers yet.
And on October 21st, the FBI confirms remains found at the Carlton Reserve and Myakkahatchee Creek Environmental Park are those of Brian Laundrie. And this is the official statement by the Department of Justice Federal Bureau of Investigation. Human remains found at the Carlton Reserve confirmed as those of Brian Laundrie on October 21st, 2021. A comparison of dental records confirmed that the human remains found at the T. Mabray Carlton Jr. Memorial Reserve and Myakkahatchee Creek Environmental Park are those of Brian Laundrie. And we're coming up on the end of the slide here, guys. I think I nailed that slide going through it. I'm getting this down now, guys. So October 21st, also FBI confirms remains found at the Carlton Reserve.
These are very, very difficult conditions. I mean, you're searching in areas that you just can't walk up and look. These areas.
Look who's in the background, guys.
These are very,
Watch.
very difficult conditions.
Ty Garrison.
You're searching in areas that you just can't walk up and look. These areas are huge and they're covered by water.
The announcement marks the end of a nationwide manhunt for Laundrie, still the only named person of interest in Petito's murder after he returned home from their cross-country road trip without her. And now sparking further questions, the fact his parents led authorities along the trail Wednesday where the remains were found.
This is an area that we initially notified the FBI that Brian liked to hike in.
Their attorney now clarifying the timeline, telling CNN any suggestion the Laundries planted those personal items is hogwash, saying Wednesday Chris Laundrie found a bag belonging to Brian off one side of the trail, but law enforcement located Brian's backpack and then the remains.
At that point, the Laundries were notified that there was also remains near the backpack, and they were asked to leave the preserve.
That's what I found listening to the audio.
Now an autopsy will determine Brian Laundrie's cause of death. And David, his parents' attorney says the family is now asking for privacy, and the attorney for Gabby Petito's family says they are not giving any interviews or statements right now because they are grieving the loss of their daughter.
So this is the video, and like I said, because I seen request earlier on in the live stream about reviewing the audio of this video. I did review the audio, and it seems to confirm what was said. The officer, I'll try to speak it to you guys. Can I pause? Yes, I can. All right, watch, guys. So right here, I believe what he's showing them is an object. Or he's showing them the phone and a location. I think the Laundrie parents are telling the officer where they found the bag. Now watch. Still showing the officer. And he's basically saying to them, we would like you guys to leave the area. And they're saying, what? Why? He said right there, how about you guys just go back home? That's what he said. I'll rewind it a little bit, but you can actually make it out. Listen. And then the mother says, go back home, watch. Go back home. And he says, I think we might have found something. Listen. I think we might have found something. Listen again. You guys go back home? Go back home. I think we might have found something. And I'm asking you guys to leave the area. And they're basically asking, well, what are we going to do? And they're now talking about the area, the bag. And then this guy comes walking up, and it kind of takes away from the audio. You can't really hear anything.
Morning. How you doing? He likes to jump. He's a puppy. That's cute.
But I did review this video just to show you guys I did. I really did. I went through it, equalized it, and listened close. So yeah, hopefully that was enough to show you guys. But that is the final clip, guys. So we made it through the entire part 2 of the investigation. And I'm telling you, I'm getting this down, guys, on how to work these slideshows now.
I've learned that if I shut up, you go quicker.
I be moving. But yeah, that last video clip of let me take my arms off the table. That last video clip, I'm pretty close to mouthing the exact words that were said, which the officer says, we would like you guys to leave the area. And the mother says, or he said, could you guys go back home? And the mother kind of jumps back. If you watch the video for yourself again, damn, it got cold in here. If you watch the video for yourself again, she kind of jumps back and goes, go back home. And he goes, yeah, I think we might have found something. And we'd like you guys to go head back home. So it
I want to
like,
hear that when you get it enhanced.
Yeah, it seems like the officers maybe they suspect that this is kind of weird that they're here right now and we find all this stuff. You know what I mean, Kathy?
Right.
So, what'd you guys think of the slideshow? We'll take some quick calls if Kathy still wants to stay on for a minute. If anybody wants to call in, has any questions about the slideshow, feel free to call in. The link will be in the chat. You can call in and let us know. Uh, Thank you, Gina.
I'll drop the link in there if anyone else wants to come up.
Yeah, hope. What'd you think, Kathy? Do you think I put it together pretty
I
good?
think you put it together beautifully. You did an amazing job. And it's better, like I said, when I don't keep like interjecting in between, because then you just slide on through it, and you did great.
Well, I think a lot more of that too is me just learning how to work it better. You know what I'm saying?
I can't wait for you to have the two put together as like one big slideshow. That's going to be amazing. Even if it's really long, it's going to be amazing.
That's gonna be like a straight full-on documentary at
Yep.
that point. I don't even know how I'm gonna fully present that. That guys, there was so much work put into that video, into those two part ones and part two. And I'm
Well,
really
plus
sorry
you
for
had
the
internet
delay.
problems in between. You had health problems. So it's like you got a lot done.
Yeah.
Lord says you're a genius.
Thank you, Lords.
I
I don't
think
know
you
about
are.
being a genius, but I got a lot of time on my hands.
Everyone, please hit thumbs up.
Yeah, hold on one second. I'm sliding on my hoodie real quick. Kathy. But yeah, daggone it. But yeah, all that information was gathered from, I mean, the proof of where the information came from. It's all right there for you guys to see. None of that is non-factual information. All of that information that you just saw in that slideshow was pulled from sources all over
That
the
we
internet.
trust. Yeah.
Yeah, from Twitter to actual statements put out by the coroner's office to FBI Denver to FBI Tampa to Northport Police. And like I said, Kathy, when I was going through it, what makes me question is like, I know this is it's gonna sound conspiratorial,
Put on your tinfoil hat for just a minute.
but like, did the police find Brian sooner than what they're saying, and just didn't want to say it? Like they left him out there to rot.
I
I
wonder
almost
because I
wonder.
have a real hard time with the one guy, the Sarasota chief going up there going, there was chest high water, but then they opened up the park the very next day and they'd only found a couple bones. So it's like, why are you going to open up the park and let people go roaming all over a crime scene? And these people have been hunting for bones, and only one group found a small pile and turned them in, and they don't even know if they're his or they haven't announced it. So it's like, why aren't people finding his bones all over? It's like, did they already know he was dead and already collect him and get him out of there?
Right,
But
exactly.
there's something very strange. And the guy
Something.
saying chest high water, all those locals went walking back there the very next day after the Laundries found the stuff. And it's like, ground wasn't mushy, stuff was lush and green, not mashed down or, their tennis shoes weren't even getting wet. So they're like, there's no way a couple days before that this was chest high water.
Right.
And they were like maybe ankle deep a while before, but they had locals in there they were interviewing. Jonathan Ritchie's was interviewing some local people, and they were just like, this area does not get chest high water. So I don't really know what the story is, but there's something more to it.
Right. Or what about the officers all of a sudden were training in the area? Like, what the hell? And that was right before they had found the remains, also. So they brought the cadaver dogs in. Then the next day they brought officers in to train. Uh, what the hell is going on here?
Well, you always seem to put on your tinfoil hat here. You always seem to hear the word drill or train right before the important thing happens.
Right, exactly. And you
I mean,
really do.
coincidence maybe, but it's like in every major event, there always happens to be training right there the day before or the week before.
I agree. I just had seen in Maryland here, they were putting out like a month ago. They were doing school shooting training nearby, and then we had a school
Boom! I bet a
shooting.
school shooting happened. Yep.
And then we had a school shooting, and I'm like, what the hell? And you know what? I wrote on Facebook just as an experiment. I said, hey, they're doing school shooting training. Just be careful, anybody, for any kind of weird school activity. And then we had a school shooting. Not at that school, but in another
Right.
school in the area.
In the area. Well, it's almost like if I still had kids in school now and saw anywhere in the Metro Detroit area that they were doing active shooter training, I think I'd tell my kids next week you're not going to school. Just
Yeah.
in case, you know, because it just seems to be coincidental.
Right. It's
I
definitely.
wanted to bring up, you know, in case people in the chat aren't that old or don't remember, you know that Astro World trampling thing the other day?
Yep. Yep. I've
In
been following it.
1979, The Who was a band, for people that don't know, Pinball Wizard. They had a concert in Cincinnati, and the trampling happened, and 11 people died, and a ton more went to the hospital. And that's when they started changing all the rules and laws about general admission concerts and stuff. So that was, you know, people trampling to get in, to hurry up and get the best seats. Just like at the Astro World, the people were like pushing up to the front. And it's weird because I was watching all those videos and people were talking about how horrible that was and that it was the singer's fault. And it's like, I do think it's horrible that the people died, but it's like, I have been to many, many concerts. I mean, probably 200 of them in my life. And I've always been one of those get up front people. And
Yeah.
you are body to body. You can't breathe. I mean, there are always people dropping. They're having to, you know, lift them out of there. You know, they actually lift them up in the air and pass them from person to person, the people that can't breathe, to get them out of there. And I mean, I've never been to one where anybody died, but it's like, to me, that looked like a perfectly normal concert where they've got the front open and anyone that wants can push their way to the front. I didn't think that was anything they should be blaming, you know, the performer on, because it's like, I was at a concert one time where Bret Michaels had cases of beer and he was like passing them out to people. So as he's like tossing these beers, people are coming way up front to get them. And it's like, nobody died and they didn't blame him. If somebody would have died, I wouldn't think. It's just like, to me, that's just concert life. Don't
What?
go and don't try to push up to the front of the crowd. If you're in the first 5 rows, you need to expect that you're going to get smashed up against that barricade. It's just a given if you're a concert person.
Thank you, Motor Vessel, and thank you, Lords, and thank you, Aussie Time. Thank all you guys. Thank you, Gina. I'm really glad that. Hey, Fran, I see you in the chat there. Thank you, Fran. I'm really glad that I finally got that video up for you guys, and we can finally put. I'm gonna get to your point 1 second, Kathy. I'm really glad we got that out. Now we can release the whole documentary, and that's gonna be crazy when we put that out. But yeah, thank all you guys. And yeah, Kathy, the only thing about the whole Astro World thing is I agree with you. And then also though I saw videos where he's singing on stage and then he's looking at someone being passed out, being picked up in the crowd by security and yanked out like you were just describing. And
I saw that video, yeah.
I used to be a musician too, and I did shows like back when I was younger.
I
And
used to be an event coordinator and a promoter, so it's like I know how these venues go.
yeah, I just couldn't imagine me being the artist and then looking out in the crowd and seeing multiple people knocked out like that, and not at least being like, everybody back up and like calm down for a minute. We're gonna take a 10-minute break. Something.
I have seen people on stage before where they'll like make an announcement. They're like, all right, everyone chill for like a 10-second break. They don't take a long break. But I think it's very common at these concerts, especially when heavy metal was out there. I mean, metal people with the mosh pits and stuff, and it's like, that's just one of the things. It's like, I don't know, as parents, you just warn your kids about, don't get in a mosh pit and don't get in the first 5 or 6 rows if you do not expect, because what happens is you're going to get pushed forward and squeezed out at the beginning. Those first 3 rows of people that are right in the center, they will not be there once that musician comes out and starts singing, you know, because
Right.
it's like they all get pushed from the back and squeezed out, and then the people that are like 10 rows back end up in front. And I mean, I always did it. I was like a pro at getting to the front and staying there. I mean, I didn't push people out of my way or crush them, but I kind of like knew the system of how to do it after doing it for so many years. But I always would tell my kids, don't go up front, not at
Yeah,
something big like that, because it's like I've seen that stuff happen and it's normal. Not good, but normal.
yeah, and then another thing is how many people broke in illegally though, because at least I know back in the older days and concerts and stuff like that, at least people kind of respected the entrance gate because there was videos I saw that came out about that, and there were like 200 people just bum rushing the gate
I
and
saw
smashing
those.
each other.
Yeah. Well, I
So
also saw how many people were at that concert, and I didn't look too much into it, so I didn't look up the venue capacity. But the number they gave, I can't remember what it was, but it's like it seemed way larger than what that venue should have legally held. But I didn't
yeah,
look it up, so I don't know. I just know I saw a video or an article or something that said how many people were at that show, and I was just like, that's an extreme amount of people for that size venue.
right. I seen a report that said that the whole venue was way under what could have been in that state in that area.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I seen something about that. That they actually it wasn't even like sold out or something. I don't know. I don't think it was true. I think it was filled to the brim, and then you had hundreds of people who broke in, which made it even more compressed.
Well, the people desperate enough to break in are the people that would have forced their way to the front.
Right, and they're probably most of them were in a group, and all that swell, boom. I don't think someone went around poking people with needles. That would be
Yeah, I
insane.
heard all that stuff. I think that's pretty insane too. I'm not believing
Yeah.
any of that.
I mean, I guess it could happen because anything can happen in today's age, how things are. But I don't know. I wouldn't think someone would do that. I don't know what the point of that would be to do something like that. Just like I've been also watching recently. I know we're kind of jumping away from the main subject, but I've been watching the Rittenhouse
I've been
story.
watching the Rittenhouse trial every day from start to finish.
I haven't
And I'm
been that deep.
also watching the Ahmaud Arbery trial. So I watch Rittenhouse all day and Arbery all night. And it's like I have been like literally, it's kind of good when you watch them later because you can skip through commercials and fast forward them and watch them on like 1.5 times speed and get through them quicker. But Rittenhouse, I have been glued to, and it's just been crazy.
Yeah, I seen what did I see earlier? I seen
Did
that
you see the one I did of the lawyer where the judge exploded on him?
yeah, yeah,
I
I
posted a
think I
video the
seen
other
that.
day just of that part, and it was crazy. It's
Yeah,
like the lawyer just went off on him.
where the prosecuting lawyer, I seen the prosecuting lawyer tried to show evidence that he went there to shoot people, and that it was already established that that wasn't the case, and the
Yeah,
judge
and the
got
judge
pissed
let him
off.
have it. He's
Yeah.
like, this has been a rule for a long time. You knew it. Another thing that happened yesterday, because that I think was the day before. Yesterday, one of the defendants, because they each have their own lawyer, his lawyer got up and had a fit and said he wanted the judge to make a ruling to have no more pastors um, or black rights activists and blah 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 allowed in the courtroom supporting the parents, because I guess there was some real prominent person, I don't remember who it was, and I never noticed that they were there, but he was saying this is making it not a fair trial for the defendant. Well, the judge is like, well, I didn't notice he was there and most of the audience didn't know he was there, so how do you expect the jury would know he was there? But I thought it was pretty tacky that this lawyer stood up and was trying to have like no pastors be allowed to be in there.
Yeah, see, I haven't really been full on keeping track of it. I've been so busy, it's been hard to keep on schedule posting these videos, as everybody knows. But I've been
Well,
catching
my
it.
my point,
Did I lose you?
actually, no, actually, you know what? I had my trials confused. The Ahmaud Arbery trial was the one where the guy was complaining about the pastors. That wasn't Rittenhouse. I get two of them mixed up because I'm watching them both at once. So yeah, that was the Ahmaud Arbery one.
Yeah, and Ahmad Arbery is
He's the black guy that was basically, pinned in and shot to death by the three white supremacists.
yeah, yeah, I
So yeah,
remember.
that trial's kind of crazy too.
Yeah, Yeah, we'll have to now that we're starting to work on a podcast type of thing, we'll have to start talking about subjects like that and really digging into them just in conversation along with people in the chat. Um,
Yeah, we should probably jump now because we are getting off topic, and it's like I like for this Gabby Petito one to just kind of stick to her. We had kind of covered everything.
yeah. Um, hold on, let me switch the
There will
screens
be a
up.
part three though, because you know this is going to evolve.
Yeah.
You know, they're going to find his stuff, identify it, more bones will be found. It's like there will be like more
Oh,
information
I
coming,
don't
but it
think
might
it'll
not be
ever
for a while.
fully end ever unless we find evidence that he like wrote in that notebook or something that tells us exactly what happened, and then even then, who
Well,
knows?
since he's not suspected of a crime, I kind of think, don't the FBI have to give that back to his parents? He never was charged with a crime.
I don't know.
I mean,
I
it's
don't know how that
possible since
works.
they're still investigating the Gabby Petito murder that they'd still be allowed to investigate him even though he's dead just to make sure he's the killer and not somebody else. Because if it wasn't Brian and it was someone else, they would still need to follow leads to find the other person.
I think by now we should know more. I don't know where's the trail cam pictures because you know they got them. You
They're
know they
keeping
got
a lid
trail.
on stuff.
You know they got trail cam video. You know they probably have more traffic cam. What you know the police never release traffic cam stuff even back to Vegas because that's their secret weapon. They don't want
Well, we
people to
got
really
it
know about
eventually,
that.
but not for a year and a half later.
Yeah, they want to keep the traffic stuff. That's their secret weapon because I think nowadays they can practically track someone anywhere they go, including with their phone and then all the traffic cameras. It would be unbelievable if police actually released 100% how they do a case, but they don't because
Well,
that's their secret weapons,
you know
stuff
what's
like that.
funny though is I watch these trials all the time from finish to end. I This has been like my, I've always done it, but not as much as like in the last year. I've totally been into it, and I have learned so much stuff about the phone tracking
Oh
and the
my God, it's
cameras. I
terrible.
mean, because the specialists have to come in and testify in court. So these are all, like you said, the secrets they don't want us to know, and it's like not everybody's
It's
watching these
terrible,
trials.
dude.
But yeah, the phone stuff. Um, Even if they don't have your phone, they can go. This really surprised me. They can go to the carrier, like if you use Verizon or whatever. Like,
And
say your phone was turned off. Yep,
ping
they
your
can ping you.
location. Yeah.
There's one guy that they just had a trial because him and the dead girl, neither of their phones were found, but both phones were pinged all the way from where they lived to another state to the exact tower right by where she died. And unluckily for the man that killed and raped her was that it was in the middle of the night and there was no one else on the road pinging off those towers. So it's like that crushed him. I mean, he was found
Yeah.
guilty.
I watched. It might be the one you're talking about. I watched one where the girl killed the guy, and he was staying at a hotel out in the middle of the desert, and the
No,
girl
that's
went
not
out.
this one.
Well, the girl went out to the hotel, and later she told the police that no, she didn't, and she told police that she went looking for him but got lost because it was out in the desert somewhere, and even the girl went as far as leaving a voicemail on the guy's phone acting like she never found him and talking about stuff they were going to do over the next week. Well, come to find out when they looked at her phone, they can ping when you send a message wherever you're at that moment, the cell phone
Yep.
saves that tower where you were closest to. So it doesn't matter even if the message got deleted, they'll see a ping was made. At even if your messages get deleted, they're recoverable. There's nothing you can do. Everything you do is kept, no
Well,
matter
one
what.
thing I will tell you about the tower pinging is when I go on vacation up in the woods, a couple hours north of me, I don't get a signal. And if people are text messaging me, they just don't come through. But as soon as I drive into town where there's a signal, my phone
Yeah.
starts going beep, 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 beep. So those would be pinging off a different tower, not exactly where I was at the moment. And the timestamp on them is when you hit the tower, not like my brother could send one the day before and I don't get it until I drive into town, and that's when it pings. So if I was, getting in trouble for a crime or something, they would be like, "Oh, well, your brother texted you at such and such a day," and it's like, no, he actually texted me 24 hours before that, but I wasn't near a tower.
Dude, a crime nowadays, I literally think they're not showing people all this But I think crimes like, for example, the Gabby Petito thing, I think they could watch their whole trip almost on video.
Yes.
Literally
There
from
are cameras everywhere.
trail cams, the street cams, to the videos they release, to everything from being able to go into the phone and listen. And dude, they can probably watch cases now as if they're watching a movie.
Oh
It's
yeah.
it's scary. It's scary. It's good. It's a good thing, but it's also a very bad thing for privacy.
Well,
But
the
it's a
video
good thing.
for sure they can nail you. And it's like advice for anyone listening that if you are going to go commit a crime, it's like do not take your phone and do not make sure the victim doesn't have their phone. You buy a burner phone and you don't buy it at AT&T. You wear a hoodie, you go to some offshoot party store not in your town, you pay cash. That way you're not seen on video or they don't have a paper trail, and that's the phone you bring because these other people take their phone with them and don't realize they're pinging off all these towers and they're totally the apps on your phone are tracking you. I mean, every app you get, you have to hit that I agree to the terms of service, and nobody reads it. But it's like all these apps, or Aussie was saying that they're all in the back of your phone, and it's like they're all running, doing stuff, tracking us that we don't even realize we gave them permission to. Think of how many ones you have to click on that gives them permission to get to your photos
I try to
and your
turn all
camera. And
mine
I'm like,
off.
what the fuck they need my camera for? Because I want to go to this shopping website. It's just a racket.
Yeah. I try to turn all that off when they come up and they say, "Oh, except for like some apps you have to use the apps." It's
Yep.
terrible.
You
But
have no choice.
like when Google sends out them emails or something like that and it says, "Oh, send information to Google." I turn that shit off. I'm like, "No, no,
I
no,
turn the ones
no,
off that
no."
I can catch, but a lot of them are just buried in the app and you don't have a choice.
Yeah, it's crazy, dude.
But all right, I'm about ready to jump off. I don't think anyone else was volunteering to come on.
All right. Well, I guess I'll see you later to you, Kathy, and then I'll sign off. I appreciate you coming on the live stream, hanging with me, Kathy. You're the best. Definitely, we'll talk more about putting out this
Yeah, this was
documentary.
great. And I sent you a message reminder. It's in your messenger. Just don't forget to do it tonight or you'll forget completely. It's
I
about
got
fixing
you.
your, yeah, you got the
Oh,
link.
the
Okay.
donation and that. Yeah, I'll get into that in a
It's a
second. But
broken
okay.
link in this one, but I went into your previous part one of this and it's like that link worked fine.
I wonder
So
why I did that. That's odd.
I don't know. Maybe because you did a copy and paste instead of actually grabbing the link and putting it in there. I don't know.
Could you do me a favor and drop it in the chat one more time for me? Because I'm gonna bring it up in a second. If you got it.
Yep. I'm grabbing it right now. Yeah, I
But
have
yeah.
all these windows open with all those links.
All right.
This is the link that works. For some reason, that one that you had in the description of this was a broken link. It just went to nowhere, which doesn't make much sense. But I'm thinking if you copy and pasted your description and then copy and pasted it into this one, maybe that's why it didn't, because
Some
it wasn't
kind of
blue lined or something. Yeah.
something odd happened. All right. Well, thank you, Kathy. I'll
Good
message
night,
you once I get
everybody.
off here. Have a
All
great
right.
night, Kathy. Thank you.
Everyone else in the chat, thanks for helping and sharing. And you got our emails, Chris's emails down in the description. And if you scroll up through this chat, I put the links to all the Facebook pages and all that too. So, anyways, thanks for having me, Chris, and everybody on there in the chat. Thank you and have a good night. I'm signing off.
You too, Kathy. Have a good night. All right, guys. I hope you guys really enjoyed the presentation. Like I said, I am so happy that I was able to finally get that up for you guys. Sorry about the delay in the process of getting that video up. I'm really sorry. Sometimes things just happen. Um, like I said, we're going to be working on the full documentary of the Gabby Petito case now that we have presentation 1 done and now we have presentation 2 done. Now we got the whole case from beginning to end. And I'm so proud of us, guys. I'm so proud of all the people who supported me traveling along this path. All of you guys who emailed me and shot me information that helped me while investigating this case. I need you guys. Your help is wanted on future cases so that we can keep on investigating. And like me and Kathy were talking about earlier, the plan is we're going to start with these web investigations, but once we grow the channel bigger and bigger and bigger, we'll be able to head out to the location and actually do on the ground investigating. Like, for example, shooting drone footage and talking to people on the scene. So that's all in the works, along with the fishing podcast we're going to be working on that I'm talking with my other partners that I work with. That's going to be coming soon. And like me and Kathy were talking about, every other week we're going to try to do an investigation series on a subject. And that subject could be as far as Hitler's missing gold to a neighbor next door's murder. And we're going to try to devote every other week to an investigation. So definitely comment on this video. You can shoot us an email at rightflightlife@gmail.com. Also, make sure you go and subscribe on Kathy's YouTube channel, Truth Seeker. I'm sure she put it in the comment section. She also just added in the comment section, that's what we were talking about, the PayPal link for the bank account to this YouTube channel. This YouTube channel is not monetized yet. Once we hit 1,000 subscribers, the channel will monetize, and then any money we make from this channel will go into our bank account, which will go towards trips in the future, better equipment, and just keep making this into an investigations channel. That's my dream. I know that's Kathy's dream, and I know that's other people I work with's dream to build it into that. So that's all the plan, guys. Again, I appreciate all. If you want to donate, my bad, I skipped that. It's in the comments section. There is a link in the description, but it's broken. If you want to follow us on Facebook, the links are in the description. And yeah, that about wraps it up. I run out of breath because I say too many words at one time. But again, I appreciate all of you guys for tuning in, for helping us with this investigation. It's not over. This is just the documentary portion, the all the evidence gathering portion of this investigation. As new information comes to light, we will be bringing it for you guys. And yeah, any donations received, we'll definitely give you a shout on the community tab on our community tab on our YouTube channel. And yeah, if you follow us, message us, shoot us an email at rightflightlife@gmail.com. We're here anytime. I answer all my emails and all my comments. So write us anytime. But I appreciate all you guys tuning in tonight. We did it, guys. And I will see you guys next time. Have a good night, everybody. See ya.